Today's video is sponsored by my brain. More about that later in the video. Welcome to Disruptive Philosophy. I've done my best in this video to hit all the YouTube algorithm markers by being in a nice suit, having my bisexual lighting, making sure my mic is right here, giving you my best 2023 masculine look, because that's what the YouTube algorithm asks for. They want bisexual lighting with men in suits talking deeply and seriously directly into the camera. I'm just kidding. I couldn't do that. I'm not a white man. So let's just, it's just a bit, okay? Welcome to Disruptive Philosophy. My name is Brittany, and in this video, I'm going to be introducing the foundational steps of a new philosophy to help us through the process of figuring out how the fuck to be a human being. I've noticed that we've forgotten, or we never really knew how to be a human, but this is going to be the first video in this series, and this is going to be part 1 of my philosophy, and I'm calling it Prime Alchemy, How Humans Work. In this video, we are going to talk about the foundation blocks that we need to understand before we get to the fun stuff, to the functions and personality types and dreams and active imagining, and art therapy. It's going to be so much fun. In this video, we're going to talk about why personality typing, philosophy, psychology are the most important topics right now for leftist and society to be focusing on. What I've done is combined a bunch of different philosophies and psychological practices to kind of create a system of tools that can help people with better communication, growth, and trauma healing. As I've been in my research on these topics over the last 6 or 7 years, I noticed that when there are videos done about these topics, it's a lot of explaining the theory and a lot of discussing the abstract ideas. But unfortunately, I feel like a lot of videos and channels don't get into the meat, don't give you how-tos that you can walk away from the video and actually apply to your life. It's kind of the point, I feel like. So I wanted to create a curriculum, which ended up turning into a whole kind of typing philosophy, psychology system that can take all of this information and make it more accessible to everyone and make the actual how-tos, the actual applications in real life are simple and easy enough for you to be able to do. The way that we talk about philosophy and psychology and mental health currently in society is very limiting and is not always as accessible, and it's very classist. It's very classist. America is currently desperately in need of thousands and thousands of mental health professionals, but to fill those positions, we need everyday Americans to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to school to get the degree and pass the test and all of these different things to actually be able to be in that practice, when most of the things that they are doing inside those rooms, we can just do. Like if you have friends, you can just do it. You don't need a therapist. Some people do, and I don't want to completely disregard that, but also this channel is very much going to disrupt a lot of those ideas, because a lot of the practices that are being used in therapy and the mental health industry originally were created in Indigenous cultures. Our practices from ancient times. If they didn't need a doctor's office and a mental health professional with a doctorate's degree and letters behind their name, we don't either. And the people who need this healing and this support the most are the proletariat, and the most disadvantaged in the proletariat. And those are poor and colonized peoples. And last time I checked, poor and colonized people don't have a lot of access to mental health care. Even with the amazing research being done with psychedelics and how we are seeing that our government is opening up more to using psychedelics as therapeutic treatment, I want people to know that those treatments are probably not going to be covered by insurance. And if they are, they're still going to be incredibly expensive. Right now, those treatments start at $15,000 for a series of MDMA or psilocybin treatments, like a series of treatments. I don't know about y'all, but not a lot of us got $15,000 laying around for a mental health healing. So when that becomes more legal in this country, if we think it's going to be less expensive, if we think it's going to be accessible to poor and marginalized people, then we're crazy. It is the responsibility of socialist, communist, leftist, anarchist to be doing this work with people that have like-minded ideas. Because if we do not heal individuals, we will not organize. We will not push forward, succeed, or win. Sick, broken people cannot make an army that is going to lead us to revolution. And so the first step in revolution is to become fucking whole as an individual. And that's what this series is going to be talking about, is giving my viewpoint and my philosophy on how we become human. That's my intro. Hopefully that gave you a good glimpse of what we're going to be doing moving forward, or at least teased it enough that you're still interested. Some of the main reasons why this is important for leftist and revolutionist to understand is because our enemy understands it, because they're using it against us constantly. Whether Freud or Jung are popular within certain communities of intellectual thought, their research, their analysis, their philosophies, their psychology is understood by the elite in a different way, and is constantly being used against us to control us. If you're gonna beat the system, you gotta understand how the fuck it works. I did a live stream not too long ago on my live stream channel, Disruptive Bodies Live. The live stream is about over-identifying with identity. In that video, I talk about how society is having an identity crisis. Seriously? And again, I go into a deeper explanation of the concept of over-identifying with identity and how that affects our society. I really suggest going to watch that. That is one reason why I am sharing this system on this channel, is to help to be an anecdote to that societal problem of over-identifying with identity that we are stuck in right now, as well as to fight the postmodernist. Postmodernist. This is also really important because a lot of this research and philosophy does help us understand how humans organize themselves into societal groups outside of capitalism and a state system. How we organize ourselves, the roles that we tend to go to, the archetypes within a community naturally, organically, innately. And it's going to be very important to understand how that works if we want to create communism, because we need to know how to organize ourselves in a way that will fight hierarchies and power structures. If you don't have a plan for how you're going to organize society after the revolution, then you don't have a revolutionary plan. You need the whole plan. Another reason why this topic is incredibly important for leftist, communist, anarchist, is because colonized people don't discuss these topics enough. I said it. We aren't properly represented in a lot of studies. We aren't properly represented in the mental health care industry. Even when it comes to Jung philosophy, I've found maybe one or two people of color that have YouTube channels talking about these topics, and they're important. And for Black people, we have a lot of generational healing to do and trauma. Yeah. And if we think that none of that healing has to do with our collective unconscious or our psyche, then we're mistaken. Another reason is the Fourth Reich is rising. And if we want to win this time, meaning they don't get power and control, we need to understand the psychology of what's going on. Okay? Just another reason is the art fucking sucks right now. Does the art not suck? Does the art not suck? Okay? Does the art not suck? It's rare to get a good movie. We haven't had a good album except Beyonce. The art sucks, and I don't want AI art. One of the last reasons I have on my list for why this is important for leftist and society right now is if you want a revolution, you should probably know what the fuck you're revolutionizing. Which would be humans, which is why we're going to talk about how to be human and how humans work.